Nen battles are the pinnacle of fights in Hunter x Hunter, each fight showcasing the complexity and strength of Nen, but not only taking into account their Nen abilities, but their overall fighting prowess and intelligence. And nobody did this better than Old Man Netero, who was the strongest Nen user even in old age. I know what you're thinking, the Nen Master of Fades? Isn't that Hisoka? All that dude does is look for people to fight, even little kids. Hisoka got nothing on Netero. Netero is a real master of fades. Hisoka is around 28 years old, but Netero is over 100 years old and was still searching for that one person who will give him the fight he's been searching for. It was even shown that Netero is so old, he lived through 4 generations of Zoldycks and was already old when Killua's grandpa was born. So basically, he's your old fart's old fart.
I see.
When we were first introduced to Netero, he was shown to be the Hunter Association chairman and seemed like an old jolly grandpa who was harmless. And if you told me that someday this dude would be making a face like this, I would say you're capping. But then we got a glimpse of what he was capable when he challenged Gon and Killua to a friendly match where they had to try to take the ball away from him. Killua got so triggered that he couldn't beat Netero at the game, he actually had the urge to end Netero's life, but little did he know who Netero actually was. But it's okay, because even Hisoka didn't know what he would be getting into when he also had the urge to fight Netero. But Netero didn't even care in the slightest that Hisoka was interested in him. He was like, you know what, you're just another bum. Killua and Hisoka would have been wiped off the map if they actually decided to fight Netero, and then Hunter x Hunter would have only 3 MCs and not the usual 5. We didn't truly find out Netero's true nature until we got all the way to the Chimera Ant arc. When Killua and Gon retreated after Pito got kite, Netero pulled up with Morel and Nove, and you would think that Netero came for the noble cause of saving the country and preventing the spread of the Chimera Ants, but actually, he just wanted to throw hands till he couldn't no more. Even when an ant told him his Nen aura would even put him past the Royal Guard, it only made him more excited to go fight. And to prepare, he basically had a slugfest with hundreds and hundreds of ants until he was warmed up enough to fight the ant of ants, Meruem. And when Netero faced Meruem, Meruem went as far as to propose a peace between them and spare Netero, which only made Netero angry and want to fight him even more. He's like, you don't want to fight me? Hell nah, I want to throw hands, buddy. And from here on out, we got to see the real Netero. No more Mr. Nice Guy. He was going to show us that he is him. During this fight, it was revealed that Netero for years trained his fists in one single motion until he perfected it. You know how insane and battle crazy you gotta be to throw 10,000 punches a day without stopping? The seasons would literally change around him and he would still be doing the same routine until he perfected it. And all that led to one of the greatest fights in anime, Netero unleashing his Bodhisattva that rained down near constant unavoidable attacks that would pulverize and crush almost any opponent. But sadly, Meruem wasn't any opponent. He was the one guy who beat him and eventually figured out Netero's next million attack patterns. Meruem not only succeeded in slicing off Netero's arm, but also his leg and draining him of all his Nen. In my opinion, or most people's opinion, Meruem is the only being alive, not counting the Dark Continent, that is even capable of getting through Netero's attack pattern. Meruem is literally the pinnacle of evolution in his species. That's how strong he had to beat Netero. But even without an arm, a leg, or Nen, Netero was not finished there. Netero as a failsafe had basically a nuclear bomb strapped inside his body, and seeing that he was at the end of his rope, pulled off a super evil monologue saying that humanity was more evil, and even this one friendly looking grandpa was gonna see Meruem in hell, and that scared the daylights out of Meruem.
LOL!
He then proceeded to stab his own heart and let off a giant checkmate that charred Meruem to a crisp. And even though Meruem recovered, he was ultimately poisoned by the bomb. So even though Netero lost, he still had the last laugh and took his opponent with him.
Tactical nuke incoming!
It was also later shown that Netero was one of the very few who went to the Dark Continent and was able to survive and come back alive. But his journey there scarred him so bad, he banned anyone else from ever going there while he was alive. Hey, that's basically showing you that even a powerful Nen user like Netero in his prime struggled there. So is anyone gonna survive on this current trip to the Dark Continent? Netero was arguably the strongest Nen user ever shown. Some may argue that adult Gon was stronger, but I'm more convinced that Netero was stronger even in his old age. Netero Netero was an enhancer that combined his enhancing with emission and manipulation to make his 100 type Guanyin Bodhisattva. And that mixed with his active prayer, which was a near almost instant motion, created attacks that could repel almost any opponent. And then he has his strongest move, the Zero Hand, which unleashes every last bit of Netero's aura into a single devastating beam, which would probably finish everyone except the King of Ants. Just imagine Netero firing off the Zero Hand on Zushi. He would be absolutely cooked. I mean, why am I saying Zushi, man? I feel bad for this dude. Okay, just imagine he's shooting Hisoka and it absolutely fries him. While Netero didn't refer to himself as a top 5 Nen user anymore, Morel and others still knew that no one in the Hunter Association even matches him yet. Up until the end of his life, he still used other top Nen users like the Zodiacs as sparring partners. And while Netero didn't end up surviving, he still fulfilled his lifelong dream of Nen Fades by finding that one opponent that tested his abilities to the fullest, which definitely put a smile on his face. But like they say, there's always a bigger fish, and Hisoka knows a lot about that too. When finally facing a stronger opponent, you end up getting smoked. Well, that's it for now. You better hit that like button and subscribe, and if you don't, I'll run a Nen Fade on you.